Hello everyone, and welcome to Sunup. I'm Lyndall Stout. Canola harvest is starting to wind down. We'll begin our show with an update, plus take a look at what's next for growers. We're joined now by our cropping system specialist, Josh Lofton, who's just now getting off of his tractor. We're here in his research plot. Josh, let's kind of start today with a look at how canola harvest is going.
Well, canola harvest is doing real well. We're getting real close to the end. A lot of growers are practically done. If folks aren't done by the end of the week, something went wrong. They ran into a field that had a whole lot of moisture in it, or combines broke down or something along those lines. But other than that, by the end of the week, we should be virtually done harvesting canola.
And let's talk a little bit about the crop, especially compared from this time last year. We're in pretty good shape.
This time last year, 2 years ago, this is probably one of the better crops we've pulled off in a long time. There's not a producer that I've talked to that haven't been exceptionally happy with what they've been pulling off. There's always going to be really good fields, and there's always going to be really bad fields, but from a farm average, if you will, everything's been really good, and we're hoping for it to continue this week.
So the yields are pretty good. Do you have some perspective on that?
Yeah, we're not hearing a whole lot of things under 30. There's obviously going to be some fields that are in that 20 range. However, last year when we were pulling off things in the single digits, that's going to be very unexpected this year, and we hope to have a lot more of the things in the 30 to 40 bushel range is what we're kind of hoping for.
Okay, let's switch gears and talk about double cropping. Tell us where we are and what you're getting set up kind of as we speak.
Exactly. Well, when it comes time to harvest, it's time to start thinking about the next crop. For some growers, it's going to be next year, next fall, maybe even next summer. For a lot of folks here in the state, double crop is the next crop. And we always tell guys to look at soil moisture after you harvest to determine whether or not to double crop. The thing of it is that the reason why we've been blocked from the field from harvest is the benefit of double crop. We have soil moisture throughout the state. There's not going to be a whole lot of growers around the state that are going to be lacking in soil moisture, and so double crop is a very nice alternate system for this year. The benefit with double crop here in the state is we got a lot of options. Soybeans are always going to be your standby. It's going to be the thing that everybody thinks of when they talk about double crop. East of I-35, that's a really good option. Even some guys west of 35, that's still a really good thing for them, especially ones that have water. If a grower has water, they can get by with a lot more east or west of 35 than some. For the other folks that are west of 35, we have two other good options: grain sorghum, sesame, really good options behind canola or wheat in different. And just think, if you're growing canola, you could be putting double crop seed in the ground next week, and that's a good thing.
Is there anything we need to keep in mind in terms of management and getting the ground ready for that second crop?
Well, as with any double crop system, things are going to be stressed already. Whether you're doing soybeans or sesame or sorghum, we're already a month behind on all of those, essentially. And so what we're having to think of is making sure to minimize stress, or else the yields associated are not going to be worth the time. Weed management's always a big thing. We see behind us, there's a lot of weed management that has to be done, especially with the double crop system. When you're talking about something like soybeans, glyphosate can typically be put to R2. R2 happens in full season a month and a half down the line. In double crop, it can happen 2 or 3 weeks after emergence. So it's something that guys have to be a lot more proactive about, especially their weed management, fertility management, making sure that if you had problem spots in your wheat, problem spots in your canola, especially in soybeans, grain sorghum, they're probably going to be problem spots as well.
Now tell us about your research and what you and your research team are getting organized in this field.
Well, this is one thing that goes for double crop and beyond. The sugarcane aphid is something that we've talked about for the better part of a year or more here in the state, and in the sorghum growing area, it's been a constant hassle. The thing of it is that the best management against sugarcane aphid is planting dates, making sure you get it planted on time. As we talked about with double crop, we don't have that ability to plant in April. We have have to plant late season. So this is what this trial behind us is looking at behind a theoretical canola double crop, a theoretical wheat double crop, as well as a full season sorghum double crop, looking at a tolerant, so one that a hybrid that doesn't necessarily is not as impacted by the sugarcane aphids, and then an intolerant one that we know the aphids like to go to and can really do a lot of yield damage. And so looking at, is there a benefit? Should we just go ahead and not do behind wheat or behind canola unless you have or are ready to battle the sugarcane aphid?
Well, best wishes getting it all set up, and then we'll have you back on to tell us what your results are.
How it all goes.
Right. Okay, we'll let you get back in the field. Josh, thanks a lot.
Thank you.
We'll see you again soon.